Hi, my name is Sarah from Pivot Partner Consultants, and today we will be going over the people management process as a system. So the goal of this video is for you to see that our approach and our method to people management comes as viewing your team as a whole. So let's dive a little deeper into our approach here at Pivot Partner. When we manage people as systems, we hold a deep understanding of subtle relationship dynamics and challenges. This method trains managers in systems thinking to identify patterns and behaviors over time. This is actually a systemic way of viewing groups and relationships. This in order to help us understand what has gone out of balance and what needs to be worked on. So let's look at an example. Here we have a bike. We have two wheels, we have a seat, we have a handle, we even have a basket. So to understand your team as a whole is if one of these individual parts that compose the whole bicycle were to be removed, its functionality will actually diminish. Even if we were to take, for example, the basket away, you'd be like, okay, well, I can still make it from point A to point B. However, its optimal functionality would be diminished. Same if we removed a wheel, even the seat, especially if we removed the handle. So that is what it's like viewing your team as a whole. Every individual part belongs completely to the system and to its 100% functionality. When you begin to see your team as a whole like that, you would actually begin to value each team member way more. So now let's go over the principles of this systems thinking that we have here at Pivot Partner. So as I mentioned before, we have three principles. One of them is belonging, order, and then finally balance. So let's go over belonging. Belonging is the need for each team member to feel that they have a place in the system, that they are valued, that their work is worth it, that they are there for a reason, and they understand that they are a part of a bigger whole. This is super, super, super important, especially with older team members that have been there for a long time and feel like maybe their work is being overlooked. And the need for belonging is actually something that completely helps in motivation. So that's an extra tip right there. All right, so let's go over order. Order is the need to recognize, honor, and respect the chronological order in which teammates enter the system or the organization. Super important. I'm sure you've seen it before. For example, now we have a 26-year-old that just came in and is a higher position than somebody that's been at the company for 20 years. So it could be because of higher education, et cetera, et cetera. However, when that happens and there's not an introduction to why that is going on, there's no respect to the chronological order, even if this 26-year-old has a higher position in the hierarchy, really the person that has been with us for 20 years is higher in that order. So maintaining that balance, maintaining that respect is actually what will cause ease within the organization, even if you hire somebody younger, for example. That's something that happens very, very common in companies. And then finally, we have balance, the need for recognition and reciprocity between teammates in relations to their contributions. So this is I give and I also receive. I give and I also receive. So sometimes we see in systems where there's a worker that is doing way more than everybody else. And people are kind of like behind him or behind her. And that is actually an imbalance of how things can be and should be at their best functioning. For example, something that we can do to solve this problem is actually to recognize the hard work that people are putting in and make sure that the functions or what people need to be doing in the company is spread out evenly according to their role. Now I want to give the ball back to you and ask you a couple questions to see how these principles are either missing or could be worked on at your company. So how would somebody know they belong in your organization? That's a great one. How would they know they're appreciated? How would they know they're part of your team? Next, Where would you suggest more balance within your teams? Where would you suggest that people maybe take on different roles or different functions? Yeah. And finally, where do you need to reconsider the order of people in your company? Maybe is there an older team player that is not being recognized or put in the right, respected, honorable place within your organization? Very valuable people in your team, by the way. Well, if this was a video that helps you out in any way, please visit Pivot Partner Consultants and pivotpartner.co.com to see how we could help you.